Alright, video blog post number 2 by me. So I got up this morning and I was going to share a little more of my hair besides just this. And I combed it and it kept falling into my face. And I decided, hey, I could still wear it down. All I have to do is use this wonderful little tool. Y'all are familiar with the headbands. Only one small problem. I went to put it on my head. It got all excited and decided to split into two. Well, once these little guys split into two, they are pretty much pointless, useless, beyond help. So you're stuck, once again, with my hide-ahead hat. Now, I could sit here and let you see my hat the entire time, but I'll be nice and let you see my face on camera. Anyway, I posted on Facebook yesterday that we got invited to game night at one of the local churches. And because I opened my big mouth and said, "You aren't going to preach at me, are you?" I decided that because I was feeling guilty, we really should go. So we went. We left the house about half an hour early and we went to our local fast food joint and we got food and then we headed over. When we got there, there were two cars, and I was a little nervous and kind of afraid to go in, but the little one walked right up and opened the door, and in we went. So the guy that invited me and one of his buddies was there, and they were playing this daunting-looking card game. Bunch of cards all laid out on the table, all the decks, and I was a little overwhelmed, I guess you'd say, but they explained it. There's 10 superheroes, 2 to 5 players. You get to pick from these 10 superheroes. You play cooperatively. Everybody that plays is a superhero, and you work together with the other superheroes to defeat one villain. Well, the villain has names, and he has environment cards, so the planet or wherever you're at will eventually wear on you or do its own kind of damage. The boys inadvertently picked 2 of the toughest characters to start with. Of course they would. They picked the ones that are most difficult to play. And I said, alright guys, you pick me one. Well, they each picked me something different. So I went ahead and said, I'll split the difference, and took the card deck from the middle, which kind of was a good thing I did because my draws of powers kind of saved our butts a few times. Anyway, we played for a while. It was a lot of fun, and eventually we beat the boss. And by that time, there were about 10 of us there. So we decided that as a group, we would play this board game called Formula V Racing. You lay out the board game, and it's up to 10 players, and so we each had our own little gearbox kind of thing, which has so many amount of wheels and so many amount of brakes and other things, gearboxes, and those are the only 3 items we played with because we were playing the beginner level. We played cheat mode because when we first started, they forgot to tell everybody that you can't zigzag back and forth. You can only move into a different lane one time in your turn, unless the arrows dictate it in the corners. But when you come to corners, you actually have to stop a certain amount of times. And some of them are 1-stop corners, some of them are 2-stop corners, and there's a couple 3-stop corners. If you don't stop the amount of times, then if you stop 1 time in a 2-time turn, that's okay. You just take the damage after you go past it. You lose some wheel, you lose a brake, that kind of thing. But if you're in a 3-spot turn and you stop once and you go out and you don't stop a second time, you pretty much crash and burn and you're out of the game. By the end of the game, there were 4 of us left. I was in 4th place, and out of 10 people, that's quite a feat. So the boys, after they were out of the game, decided they wanted to play the superhero game again. So it looks like the superhero game is going to be something that I invest in the future, because anything the boys play more than once in one night has got to be a hit. On a more serious note, last night I kind of figured out, after not having a panic attack being gone for hours, I decided that community involvement and social interaction is kind of good for me. I enjoy being alone. I enjoy, just me and the boys, learning about myself, and yet at the same time, I still fight loneliness. So going out seems to really help. Going and hanging out with people, getting interaction with others without having that serious commitment really lessens the anxiety and really lessens the loneliness. So it's something that I'm going to be continuing even after I go back to work, even after I start an internship when my schedule gets hectic, because I really honestly feel that this is important for me to overcome and to grow as a person. And on that note, I'm going to turn you all loose from my blog and advise you to go spend some quality time with your family or doing something you love and enjoy the rest of your weekend, because it's really important to remember the good things and the better things in life, the less chaotic things. You guys have a great weekend. You have a great week. Until I see you guys again, so long.